We have spent millennia looking up at the stars, trembling at the thought of what might descend from the silent, freezing vacuum of space. We built religions around the fear of a fiery underworld, populating our nightmares with horned demons, vengeful spirits, and tormentors designed in our own flawed image. But our ancestors were looking in the wrong direction. They feared the sky and the flame, completely blind to the black, crushing weight of the world beneath them. The ocean does not care about our gods. It does not recognize our concepts of good or evil. At 36,000 feet below the surface, where the pressure is enough to liquefy human bone into a gray paste, there is no light. There is only a suffocating, absolute silence that has remained undisturbed for 4 billion years. But lately, the deep-sea hydrophones are picking up something new. It is not the tectonic grind of shifting plates, nor is it the low, mournful song of a dying blue whale. It is a rhythmic, synchronized vibration. A pulse. It sounds like a heartbeat, heavy and slow, echoing through the abyssal plains. What is waking up down there is not demonic. A demon is a comforting concept because a demon requires your soul, it acknowledges your existence. A demon wants to tempt you, to punish you, to engage with your humanity. But the entity stirring in the blackest trenches of the seabed is something entirely indifferent. To it, humanity is not even an annoyance. We are merely a thin, microscopic film of organic decay clinging to a wet rock. Imagine an intelligence so vast, so ancient, that its briefest slumber spans the rise and fall of entire civilizations. We are not facing an invasion of evil, we are facing the sudden, catastrophic realization of our own utter insignificance. The ancient ritual currently unfolding in the pressurized dark is not a summons. It is a reclamation. As the abyssal plains begin to warp and the temperature of the deep trenches mysteriously spikes, we must ask ourselves, what happens when the ocean floor finally splits open? Not to unleash monsters that want to torture us, but to reveal a primordial reality that will simply erase us, without ever knowing we were here. We have spent our entire history fearing the dark, never realizing that the dark has a mind, and it is finally opening its eyes. We have always feared the dark because we believed it held monsters. We built religions around demons, giving them horns, sulfur, and names, because a demon is a comforting thing. A demon has a face. A demon has intent. It wants your soul, which means your soul has value. It is a transactional evil. But what if the thing stirring beneath the abyssal plains of the Pacific does not want your soul? What if it does not even know you exist? Imagine a scale of terror where humanity is a colony of ants living on the back of a sleeping, continental beast. The ants can construct elaborate myths about the demons of the wind or the wrath of the rain, never realizing that the true threat is simply the beast shifting its weight in its sleep. Under the crushing pressure of 6 miles of black ocean, where the water is cold enough to freeze blood yet boiled by toxic hydrothermal vents, something is waking up. It is not a fallen angel. It is an ecological, cosmic inevitability. Think of the sensory reality of that depths. There is no light, only a heavy, suffocating silence that vibrates with a low-frequency hum, a sound so deep it bypasses the ears and rattles the marrow in your bones. It smells of ancient decay, of pressure-cooked salt and sulfurous rot that has fermented for 3 billion years. When the deep-sea submersibles drop their cameras into the trenches, they do not see eyes. They see geometry that hurts the brain, colossal, calcified structures that curve in angles that should not exist, breathing with a slow, agonizing rhythm. One contraction every 100 years. This is the core mystery of the ancient ritual. The cults, the blood sacrifices, the ancient texts carved into petrified whalebone, they were never trying to summon a devil. They were trying to build a cage. Or perhaps, worse, they were trying to sing a lullaby. The rituals are not acts of worship, they are desperate, pathetic attempts by ancient civilizations to keep the great sleeper anesthetized. Because if it opens its eyes, the concept of human history, of our gods, our wars, and our loves, will be erased. Not out of malice, but because we are nothing more than dust on its eyelid, waiting to be blinked away. We are not afraid of the dark. We are afraid of what the dark is hiding from us to keep us sane. For millennia, humanity's mythologies have trembled before demons, personified entities of malice that can be bargained with, resisted, or exorcised with holy water and prayer. We created these monsters in our own image to comfort ourselves, believing that the darkness could be negotiated with. But this is the ultimate, tragic delusion of our species. The core mystery of our existence lies in the realization that demons are merely the surface bacteria of the cosmos, fleeting, microscopic parasites clinging to the skin of a far more terrible reality. Deep beneath the abyssal plains of the ocean, where the light of the sun has been dead for billions of years, under miles of shifting, crushing tectonic plates, lies an active, sentient architecture. It does not sleep, nor does it dream. For generations, our scientists have mapped the deep trenches and the rhythmic hums of the seabed, mistaking them for the dormant crust of a dead planet. They were wrong. It is not a prison holding a legendary beast, but a colossal, biological womb incubating an outer entity. The black smokers, the hydrothermal vents, the pulsing thermal anomalies, these are not geological anomalies. They are the rising temperature of a gestation cycle. The terrifying ritual currently taking place is not being performed by hooded cultists chanting in forgotten languages, but by the Earth's mantle itself. Every volcanic eruption, every deep-sea tremor, every shifting continent is a deliberate, agonizingly slow movement in a liturgy of stone and fire. It is a geological countdown. Humanity, in its desperate, self-centered arrogance, looks at the melting ice caps, the warming oceans, and the violent atmospheric shifts, and labels it a natural climate cycle, or a crisis of our own making. We believe we are the authors of our own doom. We are not. We are merely bystanders watching the fevered dream of a pregnant planet. The Earth is warming because the womb is preparing to birth. The tectonic plates are grinding together to break the shell. When the incubation is complete, the oceans will boil, not from carbon, but from the raw, cosmic heat of its awakening. We have spent centuries looking up at the stars, fearing an invasion from the void, never realizing that the ultimate nightmare was always beneath our feet, breathing through the tides, waiting for its time to hatch. We are not afraid of the dark. We are afraid of what the dark hides. Yet, the true terror of the abyss is not that it harbors monsters with dripping fangs and jagged claws, but that it harbors something completely indifferent to us. When we think of demons, we think of malice. We think of an enemy that hates us, which means, in some twisted, narcissistic way, we still matter. A demon wants your soul, it acknowledges your existence. But what is awakening miles beneath the crushing weight of the black ocean does not hate you. It does not even know you are there. To it, humanity is not a prey to be hunted, but a microscopic film of dust on a pebble, waiting to be washed away by the first ripple of its waking breath. Imagine looking into a telescope and seeing an eye blink back at you from the void, not with anger, but with the cold, unblinking vacancy of a star. That is the human fear. It is the sudden, sickening realization of our own absolute insignificance. For millennia, our ancestors built fires to keep the shadows at bay, whispering prayers to gods they hoped would protect them. But no prayer can cross the silent, freezing desert of the deep sea. Down there, where the pressure is enough to liquefy bone, the ancient ritual is not a plea for salvation or a pact for power. It is a slow, rhythmic vibration, a pulse that bypasses your ears and vibrates directly inside your skull. It is the sound of the Earth's oldest inhabitant rolling over in its sleep. Every sensory cue we associate with safety is stripped away. The warmth of the sun, the solid ground beneath our feet, the comforting illusion of our dominance over nature, all of it is dissolved in the brine. When you stare into the ocean at night, you are staring at a mirror of the cosmos, but instead of stars, there is only a suffocating, wet blackness. Our minds are fragile vessels. We are hardwired to seek patterns, to find meaning in the chaos. But if you were to catch even a fleeting glimpse of the shape shifting beneath the tectonic plates, your brain would tear itself apart trying to comprehend it. It is a geometry that does not belong to our universe, a presence so vast and alien that to perceive it is to cease being human. We are not afraid of dying in the deep. We are afraid of realizing that we never truly mattered at all, and that the thing waking up down there has already forgotten we ever existed. We have spent millennia comforting ourselves with the concept of evil. We invented demons, devils, and hellfire because a tormentor, at the very least, acknowledges your existence. To be tortured is to have value. It implies that your soul is a prize, that your suffering matters to some dark, attentive intellect. But as you look down into the crushing, black expanse of the abyssal zone, the true terror of the deep begins to crystallize. It is not that something down there wants to hunt us. It is that something so colossally, infinitely indifferent is beginning to stir, and we are nothing more than dust on its eyelid. Imagine a shape so gargantuan that its silhouette blocks out the very memory of life. It does not hate you. It does not know you. It has slept beneath billions of tons of freezing water, cradled in a silence that predates the stars. The ritual currently unfolding in the blackest trenches is not an invitation for a demon to possess a soul, it is the slow, agonizing unraveling of a seal holding back a living tectonic plate. When this entity fully awakens, there will be no grand battle between good and evil. Our entire civilization, our wars, our loves, our histories, and our gods will not be conquered. They will be snuffed out as a mere byproduct of its respiration. The sudden displacement of its colossal mass will displace the oceans, and its first, shallow breath will dissolve the chemical bonds of our atmosphere. In this suffocating dark, the rules of both science and religion collapse into uselessness. You cannot perform an exorcism on a continental shelf. You cannot negotiate with a deity whose waking mind warps the very geometry of space and dissolves the laws of physics. The ancient texts do not warn us of a hell to come, they warn us of a scale we cannot comprehend. We are not the main characters of this universe. We are merely parasites living on the skin of a sleeping giant, praying to a silent sky that it never rolls over in its sleep. And beneath the cold, uncaring waves, the giant is finally opening its eyes.